Hi folks, morning. Nice cup of coffee. I say it's nice, no guaranteed is there? Just want to continue on the Guy and Smith's Crabs books reviews because we're almost there now. Judging from recent viewing figures, nobody's watching this anyway, so I might as well continue talking to myself. So we are at 2015 at this point, or at least in this talking about Crabs reviews point. For Guy and Smith's Crabs Omnibus. You can tell I'm not professional. I don't edit anything. I don't cut anything out. What you see is what you get. So another sip of this stuff. I'll continue because this one's a pretty good one. The last few Crabs books we've had various hms and ahs about it, but this one's a good one. So this is Crabs Omnibus. It basically contains all but one that I can see of the short stories about the crabs that Guy had wrote between the 80s and the 2000s. Basically, he never really stopped writing about crabs, just didn't do a full length until Killer Crabs: The Return in 2012. But this one is like a cobbled together a bunch of short stories, as well as wrote two new ones. The one that opens the short story collection is about 30 odd pages long, so quite a long short story for Guy. About half the length, basically, of Killer Crabs: The Return. But there's three in particular I want to talk about, actually. You've got The Decoy, The Last Survivor, and The Final Encounter. The Decoy has a really, really good twist. It's about a guy who's trying to kill a crab, and he finds a dead body, and he decides he's going to use the dead body as bait, as a decoy, to basically trap a crab and then kill it. And what happens over just a course of a few pages is a really great reversal on what you think's going on, with a really, really good twist that I didn't see coming. And it showcased that within such a limited framework, Guy could actually write a really cracking story. He also wrote The Survivor, which is a direct sequel to Killer Crabs: The Return. It basically carries on where that book ended, minor spoiler alert, but with the sort of atomic bomb going off thing. We have one crab left, which Professor Davenport surmised might happen. And in this one, we see this go onto an estate and attack some people. And it feels, in terms of how it's written, a bit like Crabs, Origin of the Crabs. It's got that sort of like estate with a lead and like a lock and a crazy guy who owns it. But this has got an explosive ending that is probably the funniest and sort of most Guy sort of ending you could have. It's really, really sort of tongue-in-cheek and quite disgusting and funny at the same time, and I really, really liked it. And there's also The Final Encounter, which is set after a tsunami hits, and the last of the crabs get washed up and start attacking the survivors. And there's a little bunker where people are watching this from. This guy has an idea that these are the very last crabs and how he's going to end it. And if that had indeed been the very, very last story that Guy wrote about crabs, it would have been a really good way to go out. It wasn't the last, as it turns out, because there's one more book to talk about soon, which was also, spoiler alert, a good way to go out. But this collection, it goes for silly money in places for good copies. You can probably find a cheaper, dog-eared, cloth-eared version somewhere. But I'm really hoping that the estate re-release this in paperback form for about a tenner, because I quite like short stories anyway, because you tend to have, despite such a limited framework, a lot more focus on story. And these stories are almost all really good. Like I say, they vary from about 5 pages long to about 30 pages long, but they're well worth your time and read. You can read through each one, in one go. And I think as far as the crab stories go, these display a level of imagination, and they come at the crab stories from different angles, so they're well worth reading. And really, really like this one. Not like I say that anybody's actually watching this, but if you are, then, well, cheers.